Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. I have another card making video in which I want to show you how you can easily use the cut files that I create in the silhouette and share on my blog MistyHilltops.com as freebie, how you can use them even if you do not own a cutting machine. So here I just went ahead and printed a whole bunch of these. Well, there's three of the templates. So they're basically fully functional cutting templates that you can use just as is. But I just don't want to use my silhouette to cut these out. So I just printed from the Silhouette Studio, which is a free software. I just printed out just an outline of the shapes that are needed for the card. And then what I do is I just cut them with my trimmer, just as I would do any other of my card, just the pattern papers and stuff. And then what I am then doing is I will use them as templates for my card. So even if I don't own a silhouette or any cutting machine for that matter, but I still want to use these patterns, and these are difficult to measure really because they are not they're not straight shapes, but they are triangles. So even if you don't own a machine like that, you can still easily make these kinds of cards by just printing out an outline. The shapes in the template come filled, so obviously you would have to remove the filling, so just delete the filling, and then you would have to make sure that the outline is set so that it actually prints. And I discovered in Silhouette it prints if the outline is anything other than 0, or obviously there's also the function in the Silhouette Studio where you can just say print outline or something, or print the cut lines or something. So you can go in two different ways. So here's the pattern paper that I want to use, and I'm deciding where do I want to use which part of the paper do I want to use for this. So again, I have to decide. It's a directional pattern. That's something I have to pay attention to. I can't just randomly put things on this paper. And then all I do is I put the paper that I just cut from just the print out. I put it on top of the pattern paper and just cut along the edge there. And this is not the best paper, so it really frays, and I have to cut it with my scissors again. But it's just the quality of the paper, I guess, that I'm using here. So anyway, I'm doing the same, and I'm also saving myself a little bit of the paper there by putting it offset a little bit. And I don't mind if it's not exactly continuous in the pattern. I do care to preserve more of the paper so that there's bigger chunks of the paper left that I can use for other things, maybe more cards or scrapbooking projects, whatever. So anyway, here I'm now having these triangles, and then these are the other two triangles that will go the other way. And again, I have to pay attention that this is directional. So I'm making sure that I have it in the right way with the triangle and with the paper. And so if the paper isn't directional, it doesn't matter. But in this case, I think most of the papers from this pad are actually directional. And then again, it really frays. And so instead of removing the bit there already, I just leave it with a paper and then just cut the other piece, and that finishes off the cutting of the pieces. And I just wanted to show, usually I don't show how I cut papers on camera because I want to spare you that time, but I wanted to show you this way where you can use outlines of more complicated shapes and patterns if you want to use them with pattern paper. So here I'm just finishing off cleaning up the edges of my paper there. I do recommend to run a card. I'm not doing it with this card, but I do recommend to run something along the edge. I simply use a card. There's distressing tools available, but you can just use something as simple as a card, like a gift card that is no longer in need or in use. And so to distress the edges, it gives this any paper a nice little pop and gives more dimension. But anyways, I still have to clean up the very frayed edges from the trimmer, and then I am ready to work with the actual card. The card base comes from a Silhouette card, like it's from the Silhouette store, and it's just a normal A2, obviously I wouldn't be sharing that as a freebie on my blog. I'm just giving you a simple card, but you can use that card base. Like, I'm using this card base because I happen to have it in my Silhouette store there. And then I am ready to assemble all the papers there. And so again, I paid attention to that it was directional, and it doesn't really matter, I guess, which way you go, but I felt I wanted to go work on the opposite sides of the paper rather than going clockwise or counterclockwise in a circle. So here I'm just putting down the paper and used just the simple outlines there to help me cut these pieces. So then here I am ready to work on the sentiment, and this is just a simple stamp that I stamped on a circle, just a circle die, and then there's a scalloped circle for the as a mat, so that I will use to fill out the center there. And then I made this little die cut flower pot that I then wanted to add as a little embellishment there for my page. And this is my card done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.